We are saying there is another way of learning. Shall I go on? Bene. That implies I'm not trying to be clever, making you impatient, but I want to communicate it so that you really understand it. That you understand it not only with your brain, but also intellectually, and also with your heart. You understand? With your mind, with your brain, and the quality of the brain that listens, and the intellectual capacity to reason logically, sanely, and also to have this quality of affection, care, love. Because those are demanded when you want to discover something new. You understand? When you want to find out something totally new, there must be complete harmony. Not just intellect operating on its own, or the brain remembering all the past incidents, happenings, conclusions, and holding on to them, and also to have, which is perhaps the most difficult thing, to have care, love, affection. So, we're going to find out together if there is a different way of living, which is learning and acting. Just see the difference between what I am going to say and what we generally do. We accumulate knowledge, and from that knowledge act. There is a time interval, please listen, there is a time interval between the idea and the action. Right? You are following all this? Monsieur? Huh? That is, there is the ideal, and you are trying to put that ideal into action. So there is a gap between the principle, the ideal, the belief, and the actuality. Right? Huh? Now we are saying the interval of time between the ideal and action is non-existent. It's going to be a little difficult. Please give your attention if you are interested in it. If you are not, carry on your own way. Please see what we do actually. We conceive an idea and try to put that idea into action. So there is a time interval, a gap between idea and action. This is clear, right? Would you disagree with that? Now we are saying there is a way of acting, there is a way of learning in which there is no time interval, and therefore the learning is acting. Not acting from previous knowledge. I'm going to explain it. Go slowly. First, I want to establish communication between us. This is A first-class engineer is very well acquainted with the piston engine, the internal combustion machinery. And he wants to discover something new. Naturally, the brain is full of what he has learned, full of the knowledge of the combustion engine, right? And if you want to discover something totally new, he must put that aside. He must have a mind that is free to observe, to listen, to grasp as something that may be just there. So the requirement for learning, which is not merely the accumulation of knowledge, is to have a mind that is not burdened with knowledge. And all our brains are burdened with knowledge. Just see the fact. The more traditional you are, the more you have read Gita, Bhagavad, whatever you read, it's all stored up. It is registered in your brain. And so you can never find something totally new. I was once a friend, a very well-known author, and we were talking at friend. He was a friend of mine. And he said, you know, I have read so much. I've read all the Eastern philosophy, the Chinese, of course, European. I know all about communism, Marx I've read, and so on. And I have no space for the new. You understand? A mind that is traditional, like most minds are, something handed down from generation to generation, a custom, a habit, a ritual, a puja, all that. How can such a mind find something new? You understand my question? Therefore, to find something, to find a way of learning which is not accumulation of knowledge, the other must be put aside completely. That means no tradition. Are you willing to do that? No, sir. But tradition is very comforting. Caught in a routine, like a machine, you go on and on and on and on. So I'm telling you something which is the mind, the brain must be completely free of prejudice, of opinion, of belief, of all the things thought as put together in the brain. You understand this? Now, is that possible? Are you following? A professor, a scientist, if he wants to discover something new, naturally he can't keep on repeating his old knowledge, which is absolutely useless. He wants to discover, he wants to find something fresh, not put together by thought. So, First, to learn, which is not mere accumulation of knowledge, the mind must be free to observe. That is, the mind must, though it has got tremendous knowledge, must be capable, have the subtlety, have the energy to set it aside and be free so that it has an insight. Insight into what is actually going on.